everyone. My name is LauraCook. I'm a real estate agent with the LC-NYC team of Keller Williams, New York City, and this is the Cook's Nook interview series. And our first guest today is one of my favorite people in the world, Melissa Louie Young. She is a mortgage professional with GuardHill Financial. And Melissa, I have your little bio right here. So Melissa is a mortgage specialist with GuardHill Financial. She has been in the industry for over 13 years and is known for her outstanding contributions in client experience, productivity, collaboration, realtor development, and colleague care. So thanks, Melissa, for being here.
Thanks for having me. I'm
Yeah,
excited to be your first interview.
Yeah, well, for those of you who don't know, Melissa and I do a lot of work together on various client transactions, and we've done a lot in the Upper West Side, which happens to be the focus of today's interview. So we're going to talk a little bit about what Melissa does and also who she is. So let's get started. Melissa, why did you become a mortgage lender?
Oh, so that's kind of an interesting question. I actually became a mortgage lender. I wouldn't say I became one. It kind of found me. I actually thought I wanted to go into marketing, and I worked for some mortgage brokers, helping them with their CRM programs and trying to figure out how we can obtain more business for them. And I was just so intrigued by what they did. I'm really good at talking with people. I love numbers. Math was my favorite subject in school. So I just thought like, hey, this seems really interesting to me.
I had no idea that's how it all happened. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what's the most memorable experience you've had so far?
Oh, I've had a lot, but it might sound a bit cheesy, but every time a client gets keys to their new place, it's like a memorable experience for me. But I would say I've had like I love my job, but I would say maybe a memorable mortgage transaction I dealt with was with a single mom, and no one was giving her kind of any advice. Everyone kind of like, "Oh, you're a single mom. You're not really making any income," and they just kind of like fluffed her off. I come from like a single mom household, and it really just touched me. And I was like, I'm gonna do everything I can to help you. And at the time, she had owned her house, and she wanted to do a cash out refinance to kind of put in a suite in her property. And
Mhm.
I remember being like, how can I make this work? I found a lender that would use the rental income, use some of the child support she was getting, and got her approved. And it, even though it wasn't a huge amount, it was $200,000. I got for her. It was probably a year later. I got the most beautiful handwritten letter from this client saying how I changed her life. And I was like, this is
Aw.
amazing. She just said that with that money, she was able to put in a full suite, rent it out. So that way it fully covered all the mortgage payments and added some extra money for her. She still had some money left over from the cash out refinance that she actually went into nursing school. And
Oh,
she said,
wow.
that I completely just kind of changed the trajectory of her life. And without getting that money, she probably wouldn't be where she is now. And it was just a beautiful one. It was like 4 pages long. And, she sent it to the bank I worked at. And it was just so unexpected. And I think I cried for like a solid hour after that. And I realized how amazing like a job like this can really change someone's life.
Let's switch to gears to something a little bit more personal. What do you do
Yeah.
for fun?
Oh, we're fine. Well, okay. I love traveling. It's probably one of my favorite things to do. I'm a big foodie, so I love trying new restaurants. And I think maybe that's why I love to travel is going and trying different variety of foods. Um, Back on the food train, I also love cooking. So I love exploring new. I would say that was like a good hobby. If I'm really like tired from work or stressed out, I will cook a lovely meal, and that always helps put me back in my zen or hanging with my daughter.
I love that, of course. And we can't forget the amazing Victoria.
Yeah, she's cute, but a handful. My goodness.
And she's at that age, right? Yeah,
Oh yeah,
she's going a mile a minute. She's got a lot of things to do, a lot on the agenda.
I think she has more friends than me. She has a busy schedule. It's hard to keep up with her.
Oh man, her social calendar.
Yeah,
Amazing. So speaking of being a foodie, what is your
yeah.
favorite restaurant on the Upper West Side?
Ooh, I have a bunch. I think it depends. Can I name a few or just one?
Yeah, you can name absolutely.
Okay, so one of my guilty pleasures would probably be like Maison pickle because it's just that food is just good old comfort food.
Yes.
Um, I really love Thai food. So there's this Thai place called Salad Thai up on the Upper West Side. Amazing. One of my favorite places for like ambiance is Tavern on the Green in Central Park. It's just
Oh
like a
yeah.
beautiful spot to take anyone. I love the bar. I love the outside, like all the different rooms. I just think it's kind of a special place. And
Oh yeah.
I really, I love sushi. I know you love sushi. So there's
Yes.
this really cool Japanese speakeasy. It's like in Makase. It's called Takada. Probably saying it wrong. Just it's so fun. It's so good. There's only like 8 seats. It's hard to find. I'll have to
Ooh,
take you.
we have
Yeah.
to go. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. That sounds
Yeah.
amazing. So what would you say to someone who is wanting to purchase but's worried about the interest rate that we're seeing?
Yeah. Yeah, see, I think this is always really interesting that people worry so much about interest rates. I think it is you worry that you want to make sure that when you buy something that you're comfortable with the payment. But I would say like an interest rate is something that you can change. It's not something that is here's a rate, that is it forever. You can always refinance and go into a lower rate if rates come back down. I also look at it as this rate, like it's very rare anywhere to have a rate that's locked for like a 30-year fix, for example, to have that rate and that payment is going to be with you for 30 years. You have some stability with that versus rent, you never know if your rent's going to increase by 10%, 20%, 2%. Like it just creates a little bit more stability. And so
Sure.
I always say, like, you shouldn't really focus. People who focus on rate, I think rate is important, but I don't think it's the one focus that you should put all your energy in. I think making sure you have the right property is the best thing, or making sure that if you're in a scenario where you need some cash out, that you're looking at what that cash can do or change your life versus like what is this rate going to be. As long as you can make the payments, I would say don't focus so much about what that rate is and if it's going to be a 1/4% higher or lower.
100%. And I think what I'm seeing, and you're probably seeing this as well, is people are getting more creative in terms of the type of program they take. So they may not do a
Mhm.
30-year fix, they may do an
Mhm.
ARM with
Yeah.
the anticipation that the rates should come down, they can refinance. I mean, there's all kinds of creative things that I'm seeing you do to make it
Mhm.
work for the person's
Yeah.
budget. Because again, you're looking at monthly carrying cost, right? That's sort
Yeah.
of what you're looking at. But you also have to look at the long-term picture. How long do you plan to spend in the property, right? If you're
Mhm.
thinking that you're going to be there for only 10 years, you don't necessarily need to do a 30-year fixed.
No. And I think that's when clients they come to me, I try and be like, what is your plan? Like,
Mhm.
and we kind of go over that and say, like, what is your budget? And I think, preparing for a mortgage, that's you should all know what your budget is. And if you have like a good budget in mind, I can work kind of reverse on that. You tell me what you need the payments to be, and I can kind of say, like, okay, here's some options on how we can make sure that we stick with that budget.
So I know that GuardHill is located in Midtown, right? And you do
Yeah,
loans all
yes.
over Manhattan and New York City. That's where we focus. We've done a lot on the Upper West Side, obviously, but where else can you lend?
Yeah, so all of New York State, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Beautiful. So we will make sure that everyone has your contact information. If you want to get in touch with Melissa, please reach out. She is an amazing resource, and we thank her again for being here. All right. See you next time.